It's an idyllic green conservatory and one of Jamaica's popular hangout spots for fun, memories and me time. It's the beautiful Hope Royal Botanical Gardens, and they're celebrating 150 years of existence. Let that sink in for a bit and find out all about the ongoing celebrations and discover some interesting facts about this lush paradise right here in Kingston, Jamaica. Yes, join me, Adrian Atkinson, as I take you through the outdoor edition of Jamaica Magazine. But first, the news.
Residents of St. James, let's continue the conversation on building Jamaica. Join Prime Minister Andrew Holness for a town hall on housing and land on Thursday, August 31, starting at 6 p.m. at Harmony Beach Park, Montego Bay. Join us on location or watch and share your questions and thoughts on the JIS and OPM social media platforms. Come for the discussion on housing and land. Building Jamaica. We want to hear from you.
Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, August 23, 2023. The Bank of Jamaica, BOJ, is projecting continued reduction in domestic inflation during the last 3 months of this year and for most of 2024. This was disclosed by Governor Richard Biles during the central bank's quarterly monetary policy media briefing on Monday. The projection represents a continuation of the general reduction in headline inflation. This is the general level of price increases measured over a one-year period. With the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, the rate climbed to its highest level in recent years, reaching 11.8% in April 2022. But last week, the Statistical Institute of Jamaica Statin reported that headline inflation for July 2023 was 6.6%.
Contributing to this significant general reduction since April of last year were declines in the key drivers of inflation, such as prices of grains, shipping costs, and inflation expectations, as well as Bank of Jamaica's tight monetary policy.
On Friday, the Central Bank's Monetary Policy Committee announced its decision to hold the policy interest at 7%, maintain tight Jamaican dollar liquidity in the money market, and continue fostering relative stability in the foreign exchange market. This is expected to sustain the BOJ's material success in controlling core inflation. The BOJ's governor says the bank continues to anticipate that higher agriculture prices, higher education costs, and wage pressures will contribute to inflation being a little above the target range for the next 2 months.
Notwithstanding this uptick, inflation is forecasted to generally decelerate to the bank's target range of 4 to 6% by the December 2023 quarter, and to remain there for the rest of 2024, except for a few months. This outlook is consistent with global consensus forecasts for the path of certain commodity prices, as well as the bank's continued tight monetary policy stance.
The Ministry of Education will be activating its job recruitment platform on August 27 to accept applications from teachers seeking employment in the sector. The online database, which was launched on July 1, will connect the ministry and school principals to a central online database of prospective teachers in real time. Education officer in the ministry, Charlene Robinson, says the teachers and schools will be able to create profiles and vacancies will be posted on the system.
One of the dynamic part of it is the whole communication that takes place. So once a teacher creates their profile, they are able to search for a job, they find a job opening, they are able to apply for that job. That sends a communication to the school that is offering that job posting. And the communication is not just sent and is sitting on the portal. It actually goes to the email address that is assigned to that profile.
Ms. Robinson says teachers who are overseas and looking to come back to Jamaica can also access the Job Bank portal and secure their employment before returning to the island.
Some of the things that our teachers and principals will be able to do: search and apply for job openings, post resumes. Teachers will be able to post their resumes, create a profile advertising themselves to potential employers, get a feel of the job and the remuneration, schedule job interviews. As I said, everything will be able to be done online.
Residents of New Longville in north central Clarendon can once again directly enjoy the services of the Post and Telecommunications Department. The relocated New Longville Postal Agency was officially opened by Information Minister and Member of Parliament Robert Morgan last Thursday. The previous location had become obsolete, and for roughly 4 years, New Longville residents could only access those services through the Maypen Post Office. Now their post office is operating from its new home at the Beulah All-Age School.
We toiled very hard with the postal, Jamaica Post, to find a location, and we were very thankful to the chairman of the board, as well as the principal, who were kind enough to give us facilities here at Beulah All-Age School so we can have a postal agency.
Minister Morgan says the facility will be of great benefit to the community, as many persons depend on postal agencies for various services.
A lot of older members of our community still collect their bills through postal agencies. A lot of persons collect their path benefits through postal agencies and post offices, and numerous other communications and correspondence.
40 small and medium-sized entrepreneurs in Manchester have received business skills training to meet the demands and standards of operating in the tourism sector. The graduates are the third cohort of trainees under the Central Jamaica Social Development Initiative Youth Entrepreneurship Program. At the graduation ceremony in Mandeville last week, Minister of Tourism Edmund Bartlett pointed out that small and medium tourism enterprises accounted for 80% of all businesses in the sector.
It is a much-needed endeavor, I think, that has empowered participants by providing them with the business development techniques and strategies that will undoubtedly serve as the foundation for their future success. I am particularly pleased that these fledgling businesses will be monitored and evaluated for a one-year period.
Minister Bartlett adds that the businesses are coming on stream at a time when Jamaica's tourism industry is booming, and their expansion will only add to that.
Restaurants, boutiques, small hotels and family-owned tour operators and craft shop, these are the key enterprises that constitute this small, medium and micro organizations. So one of the key reasons why small businesses are vital to our tourism industry is their ability to offer unique and authentic experiences.
The training program represents a partnership among the Heart NSTA Trust and other public entities that offer skills training and small grant funding to support entrepreneurial goals. And finally, the Ministry of Agriculture is providing training to goat farmers so they can properly treat internal and external parasites in their herds. 100 women, youth and male goat farmers across the parishes of Clarendon, St. Anne, Hanover and Portland are benefiting from the program. It is being done through the collaborative effort of the World University Service of Canada under the Sustainable Agriculture in the Caribbean Project, the Rural Agricultural Development Authority, RADA, and other stakeholders. Farmers are receiving training in general animal care, nutrition, and health. They will also be given goat internal and external parasite tech packs to support the health of the animals. Agriculture State Minister Franklin Witter welcomes the effort and says it will contribute to a decrease in the importation of goat meat and eventually increase the industry's level of self-sufficiency.
This is critical to ensure that we are able to truly maximize productivity in the small ruminant industry and providing feed. By improving the health of goats and other small ruminants, by ridding them of parasites and providing them with high quality fodder feed, we will be able to get higher grade meat and dairy products for local consumption and export.
Mr. Witter was speaking at the launch of the training program in Clarendon recently. Acting Head of Cooperation at Global Affairs Canada, Madani Thiam, says Canada, through this project, is pleased to be a catalyst in the partnership that will provide farmers with the technical information they need to be more effective producers.
Farmers, I really encourage you to learn and apply as much as you can so that not only your individual farms will prosper, but your experience can be a catalyst for a wider adoption of best practices by goat farmers in your communities.
And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
We're now joined by Mrs. Carla Mary, Executive Director of Nature Preservation Foundation, which operates Hope Gardens, and of course they're celebrating 150 years. Mrs. Mary, thank you so much for joining us. Listen, talk to us about this anniversary and what it means for Jamaica.
150 years, and we've selected as the theme a celebration of the flora, fauna, and people, and that's what it means to Jamaica. Hope Gardens is one of the few places that predate Jamaica's independence. And so it is very important that we have this celebration. It is very important that persons understand what a space such as Hope Gardens means to the nation. It's not only a place that persons can come and relax and enjoy nature's beauty, but it's also a place of connections. So May is actually the month that we selected in terms of the anniversary. So on the 28th of May, we had a church service right next door at the Hope United Church, where we had members of our staff performing, and we had a wonderful message from Pastor Bruce Folston from the Hope Area Council of Churches. We also had, and we were happy to partner with the Jamaica Post, and we launched commemorative stamps in recognition of the 150th anniversary. We also had a public forum where we spoke about a topic that's very near and dear to us. What are we doing about urban green spaces in the country?
And so to, put the icing on the cake, there's a grand gala celebration.
Yes.
And so we want to talk to us about how that will unfold.
So we will be awarding a few persons who have been with us over the years in terms of maintaining the space, donating their time, financial resources in helping us to keep the space beautiful and lush, as you said. But before we get to that grand celebration in October, in September, on the 24th, the last Sunday, we'll be having a special concert with the Jamaica Military Band.
So lots to look forward to.
That's right.
And just one parting word. I mean, what happens over the next 50 years? What happens over the next 100 years?
Right. Over the next 50, 100 years, it is our hope that the gardens will be sufficiently resourced so that we can protect our botanic heritage.
You might be wondering what it is that I have in my hand, but before you get the answer, I'm now joined by a gentleman who's the Cultural Heritage Officer here at Hope Gardens, and everybody calls him Uncle Chris. Hello, Uncle Chris, how are you?
Hi, Jim.
What are you going to teach me about today? But first, before we get into that, I have this most beautiful, it's a piece of art, nature, the art of nature. What is this? And I also have some seeds in the palm of my hand. Seeds.
Okay, that's the elephant ears pod, and it's from the elephant ears tree. We have about 10 of those trees in the garden, and the tree is native to South America.
Yes.
And it's actually the national tree of Costa Rica. The seeds, they're so solid, you can use them as a pendant, make a pendant from it.
Right.
No, but before that, when it's green, it can be used, animals like cattle, horses, sheep, goats, pigs, they'll enjoy eating it.
Right, so if I were to take one of these seeds and plant it, would it grow?
Yes, into a massive, massive, massive tree.
Up next, we explore the rich history and winding rivers in a neighboring parish.
Of places like Old Harbor, Spanish Town, Bogwalk, what is the one thing that they all have in common? They're in the parish of St. Catherine, and St. Catherine is my parish. It's my home, and it is also the home of Jamaica's first free black community, Sligoville, the third longest river, Rio Cobre, and some of the oldest bridges. The historic cast iron bridge is 81 feet long and 15 feet wide. It was built in 1801 and is said to be the oldest of its kind in the Western Hemisphere. Today we take a look at some of the things St. Catherine has to offer, so join us on our journey through this historic parish.
The best community, fish them proper, everything that's good. Original fish we have over here, no bomb fish. We large here, extra large. We think shot over here,
We're in the farming district of Colbeck, visiting the Colbeck Castle. Though the castle is just in ruins, the walls still stand. So let's take a journey through it. The origins of Colbeck Castle are shrouded in mystery. There is very little reference to it in the early records, but it is believed to have been built at the end of the 17th century when Jamaica was seized by the British. Colbeck Castle is among the oldest plantation houses in Jamaica.
Milpen Poros, one already, two alright.
That may not have been their exact words, but all were aboard this very station waiting to travel either east or west of the island via the Old Harbor train station. Before there was the highway, whenever the Rio Cobre overflowed its banks, motorists had to travel through Sligoville, the same Sligoville that was the first free black community in Jamaica.
Sligoville is a community that is made up of some smaller communities, but Sligoville is the hub. Sligoville is the base where most of the historical activities took place. We are standing on one of the 30 acres of land that were distributed as free villages. That is once a house that they're supposed to be using from those days. But what happened is that during slavery, the slave master would live up on the top part, and below it, they have a little cultivation for the slave. It has all the attributes of a house being used at that time, because they have wackland, dab, and things like those. So it's one of the old-time houses.
Our journey today ends here in Riversdale, the home of the Natural Bridge.
This area, we used to play pokinas, keep party, and stuff like that. There's a cave that can lead you to about 20 miles, about 18 miles from here to a next district they call Crawl.
What is pokina?
It's like a card pack, right? But it's a book, like a bingo book, with all the cards on it. Like the queen, the art, but it's a big book where you use stone and mark it, and you pick that card pack. And when you pick that card pack, the number that come up, if you have it, just like bingo.
So bingo is a newer version then of pokina.
Yeah. Well, the natural is a great place, and as you can see, it's the 8 wonders, and it's built out of strictly stones. No addition. It is just stone, so it's natural. It's just natural. So I'd like people to go explore it, see what it's all about, and they can see it for themselves.
And 77 steps later, and we're finally back at the top. So guys, what you've just seen is just a little bit of St. Catherine's history. The parish has a lot more to offer. So gas up, gear up, go on go the road now.
I'm out of school now, and me a look at job. I'ma just go on an interview and them tell me say me not have enough experience. But I'ma forget experience if me not get no job.
No worry yourself, bro. I have some info for you. There is a $2 billion program that will help high school graduates gain job experience. 2,500 fifth and sixth form graduates will benefit from the LIFT program over 5 years.
This program is also about investment. And so our young people will be getting $85,000 monthly. That is a part of poverty alleviation. This $70,000 in hand and $15,000 will be placed in their bank accounts that they will not be able to access until they complete the program.
The Ministry of Education and Youth and the Office of the Prime Minister, through the Heart NSTA Trust, are teaming up to provide 8 weeks of skills training. After that, participants will get a 1-year employment placement with a government or private sector entity. Bro, all you have to do to get in the program is
be 17 years of age or older and have at least 3 CSEC subjects, including mathematics and English. You will also need 2 character references and must have graduated high school within the last year. It's for the most needy, so applicants must also demonstrate financial hardship. If you are interested, apply online at the Heart NSTA Trust's website or submit the form to your Member of Parliament's constituency office. The application period is open until August 31.
The government is committed to protecting our natural resources and environment. It is goal number 4 in Jamaica's Vision 2030 development plan. Watch now to see how one conservation agency is fulfilling that objective.
Environmental management and monitoring are core responsibilities the Urban Development Corporation UDC carries out in protected areas in Negril, Ocho Rios, Montego Bay, Helsha Hills, part of Portland Bight, Port Royal, and Palisados. As such, the corporation is committed to mitigating negative impacts on our natural resources through monitoring and enforcement by 6 environmental protection officers.
When we speak about natural resources, the simplest thing to think about is the environment and everything that it entails. So the plants, the animals, we're looking at the soil, the water, all different aspects of it that all interrelate, and also how the people interact with it.
To reinforce its conservation measures, the UDC carries out sound environmental planning and monitoring, management of protected areas, as well as environmental education and outreach programs.
So we carry out monitoring either on a monthly or a quarterly basis. This gives us an idea of what the impact of anything that we're doing to the natural resources.
Some of these interventions involve bringing internal and external stakeholders together to carry out various activities to commemorate days that bring awareness to different areas of the environment.
Our largest activity to date has been International Coastal Cleanup Day. We have it in Helsha, and we did collect a substantial amount of plastics and other garbage.
The conservation program is also extended to the critically endangered sea turtles.
So in St. Anne's in particular, we have started a program of monitoring the nests, seeing when they occur, ensuring that they're safeguarded while they are there, and then enable the hatchlings to be able to return to sea. So far, in the last 3 years, we've had a very successful program. We've had over 2,000 hawkbill turtles returning to the sea.
A similar program is being carried out with the Jamaican iguana, another endangered species that is found in the Helsha Hills area.
Young hatchlings are carried to the Hope Zoo, which they are nurtured until they get to a certain size and weight, and then they are returned to the wild. This is supposed to give them a competitive advantage against predators.
And did you know?
At the Green Gutter Caves, we actually have 11 out of the 21 species of bat that are found in Jamaica. So what we do is monitor the caves to ensure that the habitat is safe and suitable for the bats.
We also monitor to see what's going on with the crocodile. So for now, we look at the nest, we also look at the birds that are around, and to see how everybody is doing. So it's like we have a big ecosystem.
NEPA delegated the UDC with management authority over the Helsha Hills in 1999, so that's another way in which we collaborate, and most recently an MOU to develop the Goat Islands.
Since then, the corporation has been working with stakeholders and other users of the area to carefully balance the development of urban settlements with the delicate ecology of the area.
For non-governmental partners, one of our major partners is CCAM, which is the Caribbean Coastal Area Management Foundation. And with them, we partner in managing the Portland Bight area, which is the largest protected area in Jamaica.
I'd urge persons who are visiting and living within the boundaries of the protected area to not dispose of their garbage in irresponsible ways, because they eventually get to the marine environment.
The corporation ensures that it remains compliant with national and international environmental policies, legislations, and regulations by conducting monthly and quarterly checks of all its facilities and attractions. This is to ensure that these facilities are constantly at the required standard for safe use by patrons.
So the UDC also sits on the Beaches Control Committee, as well as the National Council of Ocean and Coastal Zone Management Committee, both of which are responsible for creating national policies relating to the conservation of the coastal zone across Jamaica.
The Urban Development Corporation, achieving sustainable development within the corporation's designated areas by creating a balance between development and management of natural resources. A prime example is the soon-to-be implemented Goat Island Wildlife Sanctuary. To learn more about the work of the Urban Development Corporation, call 876-656-8031 or visit their website at udcja.com. You may also follow them on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram, or visit their information center on the ground floor, Kingston Mall, downtown Kingston.
Join us again tomorrow for another informative edition of Jamaica Magazine. And of course, you can find more content like this on our website, jis.gov.jm. On behalf of all of us here at the JIS, I'm Adrian Atkinson, thanking you so much for watching.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.